You are listening to Huddling with the Herd on KYNT, a weekly recap of Yankton High School athletics. Huddling with the Herd is brought to you in part by Mount Marty University, At the Bar, FNBO, Avera, Parker Hannafin, Olson's Pest Technicians, Farmers Union Insurance, SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance, Vision Care Associates, Explorers Credit Union, Slowy Management, Mason Schramm and the Move Group, MT&RC Smith Insurance, Triple Time Rudy's, Vision Real Estate, First Dakota National Bank, Yankton Medical Clinic, The UPS Store, Hy-Vee, First Chiropractic Centers, Pizza Ranch, and Missouri River Associates. Now, broadcasting live from KYNT Studios, it's Huddling with the Herd with KYNT Sports Director Brayden Butler.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from KYNT Studios in Yankton, South Dakota. I am Brayden Butler, and this is Huddling with the Herd, your weekly recap of Yankton Bucks and Gazelles athletics. It was a fun week for Bucks and Gazelles athletics. A couple impressive showings across multiple sports for these Yankton squads, and it's fitting that we get to talk about them today. It was a little dreary this morning in the Yankton area. It was raining or drizzling when I came in. I don't know if it's still coming down slightly right now or not. I'm looking through two different sets of windows. I can't really see any rain at the moment, but who's to say that doesn't change by the time we wrap things up here today. But got a great show for you. Got a couple interviews. Head coach Drew Lawrence of the Yankton Bucks baseball team, head coach Joe Muth of the Yankton Gazelles softball team. A couple impressive wins for both squads this week. So we'll hear from both of them over there. One, it's the post-game interview from Wednesday with Drew Lawrence. Two is the over the Pizza Ranch phone line with Joe Muth, but got a chance to speak to her yesterday afternoon. We'll also break down the results for track and field and tennis this week. Couple of impressive showings out there for both of those programs as well. And Yankton Gazelles golf starts this coming week, April 16th. So we'll talk a little bit about that. YHS Nation today as well. We'll be speaking about the FFA. So a lot of things to cover today here on Huddling with the Herd, KYNT, KYNTV. Huddling with the Herd is brought to you by Explorers Credit Union, proudly serving Northeast Nebraska and Southeast South Dakota. Discover the difference with them at explorerscu.com. We're coming back in a couple minutes, and we're getting things rolling with Yankton Bucks baseball. This is Huddling with the Herd, KYNT, KYNTV.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
What if your next big adventure isn't somewhere out there, but already waiting for you at home? That kitchen remodel, a new addition, or that dream family getaway? Your home's equity can fuel it all. With a fixed-rate home equity loan from Explorers Credit Union, turn what you've built into where you're going next. Explorers Credit Union, we believe in helping you launch your next big adventure. Call 800-491-4309 and speak with a loan officer today. Explorers Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
At Mount Marty University, students get real support and real opportunities.
Hi, I'm Maya, and I'm a business major at Mount Marty University. The professors here at Mount Marty are just amazing. They're very good about supporting me through future internships and jobs that they try and line me up with, and they also provide real life experiences in the classroom through projects and speakers and things like that.
Start your journey online at mountmarty.edu.
Spring is here and the games are just getting started. From baseball season in full swing to NHL and even golf, At the Bar has it all on. Add in local matchups and more, and there's always a game worth watching. With TVs everywhere and a welcoming hometown feel, it's the perfect place to kick back and enjoy the game. So bring your friends, settle in, and be part of the crowd, where every cheer feels a little louder and every moment a little better together. You can watch the game anywhere, but the real fans gather at the Bar in downtown Yankton.
Your money's valuable, but so is your time. FNBO free checking helps you save on both. Bank online and tap to pay means more time back in your day. No monthly fees means more for you to enjoy. More for lattes, takeout, and tickets to the show. More time for the party, friends, and a new adventure. No fees, no hassles. FNBO free checking. One that's free. One with more room for the good stuff. Learn more at fnbo.com/free checking. Member FDIC.
If you want a job where your work matters, you belong at Avera. Here, we've invested in our workforce because every Avera team member drives our health ministry forward, making a difference in lives and communities every day. We offer competitive pay, great health insurance, and even career opportunities. We're putting people first, including you. Search for local job openings and apply at avera.org/careers.
Welcome back here on Huddling with the Herd, KYNT, KYNTV. Let's get things rolling with Yankton Bucks baseball this week. Their second doubleheader of their season, and the first in, I believe it was 10 days, back on Wednesday, the 8th of this month. They opened their season on the 28th of March, and then cancellations, postponements, weather, cold, rain, what have you, really affected the early season schedule for Yankton. Only played 2 of their first 9 scheduled games, did the Bucks, but back in action on Wednesday, and it was dominant fashion. 17-2 over the course of 2 games. They outscored the Huron Tigers in their doubleheader victory. Game 1, 10-0. It ended in 5 innings. Easton Feaser went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs on the day. Carter Boomsba 2 for 3 with a run scored, an RBI, and a walk. Sam Goki went 1 for 3 but scored 3 runs and also drew a walk. Brett Taggart impressed, going 2 for 2 at the plate, scoring 2 runs and drawing a walk. Beck Reichen would throw the complete game shutout, allowing 4 hits while striking out 5 batters, threw only 65 pitches en route to the win. So pretty dominant performance on the mound for Beck Reichen in Game 1. And Sam Goki would match that on the mound in Game 2. We'll start with the pitching stats as Yankton wins 7-2 in the second game against Huron this past Wednesday. Goki, 5 innings pitched, gave up 2 hits total, no runs, struck out 6 batters, didn't issue a walk, and of course came out with a W. Jackson Kudera pitched 1 inning of relief and had 2 strikeouts. Tate Bestie shut things down in the 7th, 1 inning pitched, 1 strikeout. He got 3 outs on 9 pitches, 7 pitches for strikes for Bestie in that one. It was a 7-2 win, like I said, in game number 2. At the plate, Jackson Kudera went 2 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. Easton Feaser 1 for 3 with a pair of RBIs and a walk. And Simon Kampshoff drove in a run with a walk as well. Up next for the Yankton Bucks, they got a doubleheader today in Chamberlain against Spearfish beginning at noon, but was able to get a chance to speak to head coach Drew Lawrence earlier this week about those wins on Wednesday. This is from the post-game for Yankton's doubleheader sweep over the Huron Tigers. Let's go to the interview now here on KYNT and KYNTV.
A successful doubleheader sweep today of the Huron Tigers, 10-0 in Game 1, 7-2 in Game 2. Coach, bats really got going today. We're able to draw a lot of walks and then bring those guys home.
Yeah, bats got going today, which is great. I've said a couple times on air and to our team, we just take a little bit longer to get the bats warm, and it's good that it happened early. First 3 innings, we struggled a little bit trying to figure out. The pitcher, he had a little different delivery. But yeah, then we got the bats going, we got people moving. A lot of stolen bases today, so that's good to see because we thought that might not be as much as last year and played really clean defensively.
You're looking at steals just in Game 1. I'm looking at right now 5 total, 2 for Carter Boomsma in that opening game. But the guy I want to focus on offensively in Game 1 was Easton Feaser. Ends up 3 for 4, drives in 3 runs. Really, he is your power bat in the lineup, and he was able to show that a little bit more today with the wind not blowing 40 mile an hour in his face.
Yeah, it's good to see Feaser be able to keep doing what he's been doing the last 3 years now. So he's a big bat for us, and, usually he comes up, and those guys ahead of him are on base. So he needs to continue to keep just doing what he's doing. That guy's probably swung at more baseballs than anyone you've ever met in your life, and practices, games, whatever it is. But he works hard, and it has paid off.
He had 2 more runs driven in Game 2 for 5 total for Feaser today. Carter Boomsma had a couple more steals in Game 2 as well. He looks like a very good speed threat out there on the base paths for you guys.
Yeah, and we're going to need him to be. He was aggressive tonight. He wasn't as aggressive our first doubleheader, but he was aggressive tonight. Did a really good job base running. He's a fast kid, but you can be fast. You still got to be smart, and Carter's smart, so he does a good job.
Pitching-wise for you guys, basically what we expected. Beck Reich and Sam Goki both pitching very well. Jackson Kudera comes in for an inning, does give up a couple runs, but some of the things that you like to see from a young player. And then Tate Bestie obviously shutting things down in the final inning here in Game 2.
Yeah, our pitching was going to be good. We knew that. We were just worried about if we had enough innings for these guys to be out there and play. Beck and Samuel did exactly what they have done every time they go out there, and that's compete, and they put up zeros for both of them. And I thought Jackson did a good job coming in relief there. He threw strikes, and then Tate came in and threw slow and did a good job.
I don't know how that breaking ball works for Tate, how he gets the bend on it that he does, but it works very well.
He's been one of the most successful Legion pitchers that I can remember, being able to get outs. We talk about the Central Plains Regional a lot. We talk in our dugout and our group, but he came in relief up there for the win that we had up there, and I think he got 10 outs. He got 7 outs in 10 pitches, 10 strikes. So that's impressive to do.
It's an impressive pitch. That's a great piece to have in your back pocket there, especially late in games. Saturday, your next game. You finally get to play Spearfish after those games were scheduled for last week. One of the rare times you're able to reschedule over in Chamberlain for a neutral site game on Saturday, or a pair of games on Saturday. So what are you expecting there taking on Spearfish in Chamberlain?
They're coached really well. Their coach works really hard. He's smart, and I think they're a little bit younger, but they'll be ready to play because their coach is good. And for us, we just got to go out there and do what we normally do and just play hard. If we can do that, we've met them a couple times in Spearfish or in Chamberlain. So this is all new. It's not new field for either team. We've all done it. It's a great location. Brock Sondell does a good job letting us use that field, and we're excited for it.
That was head coach Drew Lawrence of the Yankton Bucks here on KYNT and KYN-TV. The Bucks baseball program, like we talked about, scheduled to be in Chamberlain today for a pair of games with Spearfish. I haven't seen anything announced where that has changed, and that's scheduled to begin at noon. So I assume already on the road are the Yankton Bucks for Chamberlain. Good luck to them today in their doubleheader. We're going to take a break here on Huddling with the Herd. When we come back, it's time to talk about Yankton Gazelles softball, a pair of big wins for them this week. A football score was put up on Thursday. We'll talk about that more in a couple minutes here on Huddling with the Herd. This is KYN. You're listening to KYNT 102.1 FM, AM 1450, and also streaming live on KYN TV on YouTube, Facebook, the KYN TV app, and at KYNTV.com. We're back in a couple minutes to keep things rolling on Huddling with the Herd.
Imagine paid vacation, sick leave, holidays, and full medical coverage the moment you start a new job. Plus quarterly profit sharing, 5% 401k match, and a company-paid retirement plan your first day on the job. With Parker of Yankton, you don't have to imagine, because all these benefits begin day one. We are hiring assemblers, material handlers, and line operation techs for both shifts. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $235. If you're looking to upgrade your career and have day one benefits, apply today at Parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
Do you have a pest problem? Bed bugs, bats in the attic, termite damage, earwigs? Olson's Pest Technicians can tackle any of your pest problems. Family owned and operated with over 80 years of pest experience in South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. Proven pest methods include Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatments for bed bugs. Even the toughest pest infestations don't stand a chance. Olson's Pest Technicians, putting pests to rest since 1966. Call 800-KIL-BUGS.
Tip-off is here and the season's heating up. Whether it's your home, farm, or everyday life, Farmers Union Insurance help you defend against the unexpected and score big on protection. Brendan Hansen and Brandon Tykero at Suite 101B, Morgan Square in Yankton help you rebound from surprises, make every play count, and keep your game strong all season long. Don't let life slam dunk you. Stop by today and stay covered with Farmers Union Insurance.
If you've been suffering from chronic pain or a recent injury,
Check us out, Lane, Reed, and Cole Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of treatments and techniques, including dry needling, cupping, chiropractic adjustments, and sports rehabilitation.
Our mission is to ensure an individualized and efficient treatment plan to get you back on your feet.
From ankle sprains and sports injuries to neck pain and headaches, we've got your back.
Give us a call or book an appointment on our website. SWAT Chiropractic, specialized wellness and therapy.
Located on Summit Street across from the high school.
When you make the right decision, it feels good. Like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision too. That's why State Farm agent Rhonda Westland is right here in Yankton to help you select the right protection at the right price. Rhonda will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm agent Rhonda Westland, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call her. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first. We offer expertise and experience, where your long-term eye care is our concern. State-of-the-art technology, where we never lose sight of quality. Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Welcome back here on Huddling with the Herd, KYNT, KYN-TV. It's time to talk about Yankton Gazelles softball now on the program. I was gonna blame my allergies this morning. I feel stuffy and coughing. That was just a flub of words, but we'll get through it together. Allergy season, am I right? Anyway, softball impressive wins this week between their games on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. The Gazelles scored 37 combined runs over 2 games, outscoring their opponents 37-10 over those 2 games as well with a pair of wins. That includes a combined no-hitter on Tuesday against Aberdeen Central, 15-0 shutout of the Golden Eagles. Reese Gary pitched 3 1/3 innings and 3 strikeouts. Brenna Elwood pitched the final 2 batters of that game, striking out both of them. Kyra Churchma, 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Callie Koletsky, 2 hits for her. And Jocelyn Barons, 4 runs scored on Tuesday. On Thursday, an impressive win over Pierre. A football score broke out at their home opener for the Yankton Gazelles. 22-10, the final score over the Governors. Churchma, again, was a key piece of the offense for Yankton. Madison Musfelt, Ava Gerard, September Rao, and Brooklyn King all tallying multiple hits as well as Churchma. King had 4 RBIs on 4 hits. Musfelt had 4 RBIs on 2 hits. And Gerard finished with 3 RBIs in the win. Reese Gary, once again, grabbing the win in the circle for Yankton. She pitched 3 1/3 innings, striking out 2 batters. Gary did allow 7 hits, but still a very good performance from her. Brenna Elwood would throw the final 1 2/3 innings of relief, having 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 1 hit. Impressive performance all around for the Yankton Gazelles. The bats really got going, and that's something that head coach Jill Muth brought up multiple times when we spoke just yesterday over the Pizza Ranch phone line for today's Huddling with the Herd. And we're actually going to go to the interview right now, and then we'll talk about what's next for the Yankton Gazelles. But here's head coach Jill Muth of the Yankton Gazelles softball program talking about an impressive week for her team.
Brayden Butler here for Huddling with the Herd on KYNT. Joining me over the Pizza Ranch phone line now is head coach Jill Muth of the Yankton Gazelles softball program. And Coach Muth, couple impressive games this week, to say the least. Put up, in the P&D article I read this morning, put up a football score last night with a night game against the Pierre Governors, and then obviously a shutout win over Aberdeen Central earlier in the week. How are you feeling after, week 2 of the season, it feels like?
Yeah, you know what? This week we hit the ball pretty darn good. I think they said last night we had 18 hits in 4 innings. That's pretty crazy. So I was pretty happy with that number right there. And we went up to Aberdeen and got to play in their inside dome, which was kind of nice. That's a nice little facility that they have. Girls that got a lot of hits this week. So that was pretty fun for us to see, and pretty fun for them to be able to get the bats going and stuff. So it was a good week for Gazelle softball for sure.
It was an impressive week all around. We'll start back on Tuesday against Aberdeen Central. Combined no-hitter for Reese Gary and Brenna Elwood on the mound. Obviously, 15-0 win for you guys. You mentioned the bats already, but combined no-hitter is always impressive from your pitchers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Reese pitched really well, and actually we kind of we actually weren't quite aware that we just knew she was pitching well, but we didn't realize she had a no-hitter, and we took her out, and then we realized she had a no-hitter, and we felt kind of bad that we had taken her out and didn't let her finish that no-hitter, but we told her we'll let her finish the next one. Reese pitched really well on Tuesday. That was fun for her to get that outing and get out there and throw some strikes and have a good outing. And then Brenna Elwood came in, and she pitched some in Aberdeen in the JV and in the varsity game. She faced 5 batters total, and she had 5 strikeouts on the day. So she had a really good day for us too. And then in the JV game, the other 2 gals that pitched were Claire Taggart and Emma Sloan, and they also gave up no hits. So I mean, yeah, it was a really good day for us in the pitching up there in Aberdeen. So that was pretty fun for for our kids to get that going and get going. That's the hard part about pitching early in the season is you just don't ever feel like you have enough time to work on everything that you want to and everything that you need to, and so our kids looked pretty good on Tuesday.
And looking ahead, or looking now, yesterday as we're talking, we're recording this on Friday for today's show. But last night against Pierre, your home opener, and there's probably been a coach in your family that has had lower scoring football games as a head coach. 22-10 is what I read this morning on the Yankton Press and Dakota, and seeing that you guys, like you said already, 18 hits as a team total. It's just got to feel really nice as a head coach. I feel like there's not much to really talk about at practice outside of the 10 runs the other way.
Absolutely. I would say right now we're feeling like our bats are looking pretty good, which is good because, we're going into, I guess we kind of called it a pretty tough stretch of our season here coming up. We have 6 Sioux Falls schools coming up, or the 6 metro schools anyway, 6 of the 8 of them here in the next 2 weeks. We play 3 games next week. We play, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself telling you about next week, but we play next week Jefferson on Monday, Roosevelt on Tuesday, Washington on Thursday, and then the next week we play, and I can't remember the order, I think Brandon, and then O'Gorman and Lincoln, and I don't remember what order it's in, but we play those 6 schools in the next 2 weeks, and those teams have traditionally been very good softball teams, and so it's going to be important for us to go into those games feeling confident and feeling good with our bats and with our pitching, and so hopefully our last 2 games here have done that for us.
Yeah, looking at the schedule ahead, you had it the exact right order as I have it pulled up here in front of me. But Coach, I know it's still early on in the season. Just played 3 games, and it feels like this was just the first real full week of the season after over a week off after Game 1. But how are your expectations, or how are they looking after an impressive week this past week?
Yeah, we've got some girls that have been hitting really good. We've got girls that have some really impressive batting averages right now, which is great. That gives us some confidence and has us, feeling good about ourselves, and that's what we want. A lot of times it's a matter of streaks. In softball and in baseball, that's kind of how it goes. If you can get on a hot streak, you ride that thing as long as you can, So we're hoping we can, keep that hot streak going here for the next couple of weeks, and as we continue into a tougher stretch of our season, as we face some of those teams that, we'd love to go put 10 runs up on them too. So that'd be fun if we can keep our bats hot and go continue to score runs.
Well, Coach, I'd like to thank you for taking time to talk today for Huddling with the Herd. Good luck to your team and their stretch of games over the next 6 games in the next 2 weeks. I know you guys will be busy, but good luck to the Gazelles, whether they're at home or on the road the next couple weeks.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate your coverage, and we appreciate you visiting with us and working with us, and we appreciate all you guys do for Yankton High School and our kids here at the high school.
It's head coach Joe Muth of the Yankton Gazelles here on KYNT and KYNTV. It's about the 3rd time today I felt a sneeze start to come on while I'm on the mic, and it's always as soon as I unmute, but it is what it is. It's that time of year. But next up for the Gazelles, you heard Coach Muth say they got a busy schedule, 6 metro area schools coming up over the next 2 weeks. It starts on Monday, a road game against the Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers. So good luck to the Gazelles in that matchup with the Cavaliers and throughout their not only this stretch of games, but the rest of their season. A couple impressive wins this week to really get the ball rolling. Gazelles are 2-1 early on in the year. We're going to go back to break. When we return, we're talking Yankton track and field. A makeup event for them yesterday. They went to the Huron Invitational after a meet earlier this week was canceled, and there's been more cancellations in the track and field schedule, but we'll talk about that in a little bit when we break down what track and field has done this week. This is Huddling with the Herd, KYNT, KYNTV. Back in a couple minutes.
What if your next big adventure isn't out there on the road? What if it's already waiting right at home? That kitchen you've been dreaming of, extra room to grow, or the family trip you've pictured long ago. Your home's equity can fuel it all. When your plans become a must, Explorers Credit Union. Build steady, build for us. Insured by NCUA. Call 800-491-4309 and put your equity to work for you today.
Having guests coming to Yankton for area graduations? Well, the 2 best choices are easy, the Fairfield by Marriott and the Holiday Inn Express. Enjoy comfortable rooms, free breakfast, gathering rooms, pool, and more. With graduation season coming up from Mount Marty, USD, and Yankton High School, rooms are filling fast, so don't wait. Call the Fairfield by Marriott or the Holiday Inn Express in Yankton to lock in great rates and stress-free reservation changes.
Buying a home isn't just about real estate. It's about investing in yourself. At the Move Group, we believe the best time to buy is when it makes sense for you. Our expert agents put people before transactions, meaning we listen first, provide honest guidance, and help you make a confident decision. No pressure, no gimmicks. Markets change, but the right home is about more than just numbers. It's about finding the right fit for your life and your future. When you're ready, we're here to help. Contact the Move Group today.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT and RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. Visit mtrcsmithinsurance.com.
There's a difference when a convenience store is locally owned, and you feel it the moment you stop at Triple Time Rudy's. You'll get great quality fuel to keep you on the move, plus local and regional favorites like Dimmick Cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner Lockers. It's the kind of place that's convenient and connected to your community. Conveniently located at 17th and Broadway, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling your community.
Hi, I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate. If you're thinking of selling your home, let's start with a full market analysis so you can understand our local market trends and know what to expect. Let me handle the details so you can focus on your next adventure. When it's time to move, pack those Vision boxes and hook up to our courtesy trailer. Call me, Deb Speck, at 605-664-5555.
Welcome back here on KYNT and KYNTV for Huddling with the Herd. We're talking Yankton, Bucks, and Gazelles track and field. They were scheduled to compete in Sioux Falls early this week. I believe it was originally scheduled for Monday. That meet got canceled due to inclement weather, so a makeup event. They took part in the Huron Invitational yesterday, and they picked up 6 event victories between the Bucks and Gazelles. We'll start with results on the boys' side. Yankton won the 400 and 800 relays. Cale Hazelhorst, Joaquin Polito, Alex Swihart, and Jack Brandt ran on both of those relay teams. Swihart and Brandt also ran on the 1,600-meter relay team, along with Owen Eisness and Tegan LaCroix to finish third. Hunter Chop, Evan Olson, Charlie Dooley, and Evan Jackman ran on the 3,200-meter relay team, finishing fifth. Devin Auk, Caden Needham, Dominic Stans, and Francisco Reyes took sixth in the medley relay. And individual events for the Bucks. Andrew Budig took the top spot in the shot put with a toss of 50 feet, 1.25 inch. I believe that's in feet. Might be meters. It's 50, 1.25, whatever measurement they are using. I should clarify that, but my apologies there. Tegan LaCroix, second in both the 400 and the long jump. Jake Bivens takes third in the triple jump, sixth in the high jump, and eighth in the long jump for the Bucks. Jake Walter was fifth in the shot put. Sawyer Maibaum also fifth, but in the high jump. And Cale Hazelhorst was second in the 110 hurdles. This is now into the running events for the Bucks. Luke Feimer third in the 3200. Brayden Olson sixth. Isaac Paulson eighth. So 3 of the top 8 spots go to the Bucks in the 3200. Braxton Hoover took sixth in the 400. And that rounds out the top 8 finishers for the Yankton Bucks. Impressive showing. 3 event victories once again for the Bucks side of things. Winning the 400 and 800 meter relays. That's Cale Hazelhorst, Joaquin Polito, Alex Swihart, and Jack Brandt. And then also taking home the top spot in the shot put for the Bucks was Andrew Budig. Now for the Gazelles. Dominant showing for them in the jumping events. Let's say that as 3 different Gazelles won titles. Juliet Remington won the triple jump and finished second in the long jump. Berkeley Olson won the long jump, and Quinn Brinkman won the high jump for the Gazelles. And Ava Henricks completed a sweep of the top 3 spots for Yankton in the long jump as well. She finished third. So in the long jump alone, Yankton took 1, 2, 3, with Berkeley Olson first, Juliet Remington second, and Ava Henricks third. Berkeley Olson also was fifth in the 100-meter race. Also for the Gazelles, Riley Mosier was second in the 400. Rylan Jackson placed third in both the 800 and the 1600. Colleen Peterson took home sixth in the 1600. Abby Johannesson and Delaney Yeomans finished third and fourth, respectively, in the 3200. And in some more field events, Maddie Tereshinsky fifth in the shot put. Aviana Seiler took seventh in the 200. And in a relay event, struggling for the word for a second, the quartet of Ava Henricks, Riley Mosier, Avi Seiler, and Berkeley Olson took home second in the 800 relay and fourth in the 400 relay. Today's Brandon Valley Invitational, which Yankton was scheduled to compete in, has been canceled, unfortunately. So Yankton will now wait for a home triangular on Tuesday against Brandon Valley and Mitchell. So you're still going to compete against the Lynx for the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles track and field. It will just have to wait until Tuesday. Looking at what's next here on KYNT and KYN-TV. We're going to go to break, come back in a couple minutes, and we're going to speak about Yankton tennis and also give a quick preview of Yankton golf here on KYNT and KYN-TV. Back in a couple minutes, you're listening to Huddling with the Herd, broadcasting live from our studios on Broadway in Yankton.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Life doesn't slow down for injuries, and neither should your care. With Yankton Medical Clinic Orthopedic Walk-In Care, you can be seen quickly, Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. No referrals, no long waits, just experienced, highly trained surgeons ready to help you heal and get back to what you love. And because we live right here in Yankton, your care stays close to home. I'm Dr. Jeremy Kudera, orthopedic surgeon with Yankton Medical Clinic. I'm proud to call Yankton home. We're your orthopedic team, and we're here for you.
Getting your business noticed starts with the right print. The other day, a customer came into the UPS store Yankton to pick up blueprints we printed for him. While we finished his order, he mentioned needing business cards. At the UPS store, we handle all your printing needs. Stop in and ask about our current print specials. And that customer? We had his new business cards ready the very next business day. Come explore our small business solutions at the UPS store in Yankton.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists. Shop the sales and get fuel savers. Talk about convenience. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Welcome back here on KYNT and KYN-TV. You are listening to Huddling with the Herd, streaming live online and, of course, over KYNT 102.1 FM, AM 1450. Let's take a look at Yankton Bucks tennis now. This week of matches for them. We'll start on Monday. They took on Brandon Valley and Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Or excuse me, Tuesday. They took on Brandon Valley and Sioux Falls Roosevelt. The Bucks would suffer their first defeat of the season to the Lynx, falling 8-1. Jack Pedersen and Nels Hansen combining for the lone win for Yankton at Flight 3 doubles. The Bucks bounced back to end the day, a 9-0 sweep of Sioux Falls Roosevelt with 6 matches ending 10-0 for Yankton. And I'll just bury the lead for how things went yesterday in their triangular with Sioux Falls, Jefferson, and Millbank. That's their opening duel with Brandon Valley. That was the last time they dropped a match. It was a 9-0 sweep of Sioux Falls Roosevelt to end that triangular on Tuesday. And then yesterday's triangular, a pair of 9-0 sweeps. We'll start against Millbank at Flight 1. Harrison Kraske won 10-2. Luke Moeller won 10-0. Chris Rockney and Ethan Marsh both won 10-1. Jack Pedersen, a 10-0 win. And Zane Becker rounding out the top 6 flights in singles with a 10-1 win. In doubles play, Harrison Kraske and Luke Moeller got a 10-4 victory. Chris Rockney and Ethan Marsh of Flight 2 got a 10-0 victory, and Jack Pedersen and Nels Hansen a 10-3 victory at Flight 3. Against Sioux Falls Jefferson, another 9-0 sweep. This one contested a little different scoring for the top flights, but Harrison Kraske won his match 6-1 and 6-0. Luke Moeller won his 6-4, 6-2 at Flight 2. At Flight 3 singles, Chris Rockney picked up a win 6-1 and then 6-3. Couple 6-0 victories for Ethan Marsh at Flight 4. Jack Pedersen wins at Flight 5, 6-3, and then 6-1. And Zane Becker rounds out the scoring for Yankton, 6-2 and 6-3 victories for him in singles play. In doubles play, Harrison Kraske and Luke Moeller win straight sets, 6-2 and then 7-5. Chris Rockney and Ethan Marsh win 7-5 and then a 6-0 sweep. And then Jack Pedersen and Nels Hansen rounding out the scoring at doubles, 6-1, 6-3, their wins over their 2 matches. Just a great performance from Yankton for Bucks tennis, top to bottom, especially bouncing back. Their first loss of the season to Brandon Valley earlier this week. Really got back on track over the course of, to end that triangular on Tuesday, and then, of course, just yesterday with a pair of 9-0 sweeps. Bucks are back in action on Tuesday. They'll have a duel with O'Gorman at McKinnon Park. So just a straight-up head-to-head duel with the O'Gorman Knights. Should be a lot of fun on Tuesday. That is coming up in just a couple days. That is the 14th for people keeping track on their calendars at home. Now let's take a look at Yankton Gazelles Golf as they start their season this week. On Thursday, April 16th, at Spring Creek Country Club, they'll take part in an invitational that is scheduled for tee time at 9 a.m. So Yankton Gazelles Golf, the final spring sport to start their season. It is the most, I'd say, necessary for good weather. You can play baseball in a little bit of rain, a little wind. I mean, you can run track, a little bit of rain. I don't know. Rain for tennis doesn't really bode well, but we have a great indoor facility here in Yankton, so that helps a lot. Golf is the one where you really need to have some decent conditions. Not saying you can't play golf in the rain and wind, but just preferably you'd like some decent conditions out on the golf course. They start 9 a.m. Thursday at Spring Creek Country Club, an invitational up in Harrisburg. Good luck to the Yankton Gazelles as they start their season this week. We're going to go back to break here on Huddling with the Herd. When we return, we're going to have YHS Nation. The FFA, the Yankton FFA, is the topic of discussion today. Scotty Borman with another great YHS Nation interview. You'll hear from him about the Yankton FFA in just a couple minutes here on KYNT and KYN-TV.
It's easy to fall into the weekend warrior routine. A long hike, a hard gym session, a pickup game, or a full day of yard work can feel productive until your body reminds you it hasn't been building up to that load. This is Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. Injuries often happen when the demand suddenly outpaces what your joints and muscles are prepared for. Want to stay active without the setbacks? Visit First Chiropractic Centers today with offices in Yankton, Hardington, Tyndall, and Wagner, inspiring and empowering others to healthier living.
Practice, meetings, errands, homework. Life doesn't slow down. That's why Yankton Pizza Ranch makes dinner easy. Our buffet is hot, fresh, and ready when you are. Pizza, desserts, and the country's best chicken. When your schedule's packed but you still want something delicious, make it a buffet day at Yankton Pizza Ranch, serving daily from 11 to 8.
It's where life tastes better. Surround 'em up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
Ever have one of those days? Your car breaks down. Your dog decides your couch is a chew toy. And oh yeah, a tree falls on your roof. Don't worry, Missouri River Associates has you covered. Auto, home, pet mishaps, we're here for all of life's little oops moments. Call 665-6885 for your free quote. Because life happens, and we're ready for it.
At Vision Care Associates, we're always improving our technology for the health of your eyes. With Optomap dilation-free exams, you get a comprehensive view of your retina without the need for dilation eye drops. It's quick, easy, and best of all, it keeps your day interruption-free. Optomap captures a detailed image of your eye, helping to detect any problems. No blurriness, no discomfort, just clear, precise results. Book your Optomap exam now.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Welcome back. This is Huddling with the Herd on KYNT and KYN-TV. Huddling with the Herd presented by Explorers Credit Union. Discover the difference with them at explorerscu.com. We've wrapped up the sports talk today, but still got time to talk about some Yankton High School activities. This time, it's the FFA that's the topic of discussion. For those unfamiliar with YHS Nation, it's your weekly look in at an activity or an event going on outside of the athletic sphere at Yankton High School. FFA is a very important thing. I know to a lot of people in the area. I wasn't involved in FFA when I was in high school, but a lot of my friends were. I know it's a thing that people are very passionate about. So I'm glad we were able to get some FFA love on Huddling with the Herd on YHS Nation this week. Scotty Borman able to conduct that interview for us. So we're going to go to that interview right now here on KYNT and KYN-TV.
This is Scotty Borman for the YHS Nation segment for KYNT Radio. And today we're talking farming. We're with several members of Yankton High School's FFA, which is Future Farmers of America. And I think we'll start out with the advisor, Mr. Brayden Wagner. How are you doing today, Brandon?
I'm doing good, Scotty.
So I understand we've had some recent I didn't even know there were competitions in FFA, but you've had some new developments in that regard lately. Is that right?
Yes, so they're abbreviated as CDEs, they're Career Development Events, and we take a group of kids they compete in a variety of different events. This year we had students compete in agronomy, vet science, natural resources, floriculture, livestock evaluation. So there's a very broad range of competition areas and touches a very diverse group of kids. And we try to represent a wide group of kids and backgrounds and interests.
And where did that take place?
So these competitions are hosted from various school districts across southeast South Dakota, and we traveled to Howard and Sioux Falls and Alcester were the locations of the three competitions. So there were two competitions leading up to our district event, and then in order to qualify for the state convention, they would need to place in the top 4 teams or the top 5 individuals to go to the state convention and compete at that level.
So are we approaching the state convention? Is that one? Cool. And where is that being held at?
The state convention is usually held in Brookings. It's in April 20th to the 22nd this year, I believe, are the dates. And they'll compete somewhere along that timeline, along with the 10 various sessions that the convention speakers. All the state leadership positions are all there speaking, and just a good networking and competition experience.
Cool. And how many students do we have coming from YHS going up to beat up people in Brookings again? I mean, come on, they're ESD competitors and everything else, so we have to beat up on the Bobcats, right?
That's fair. So we have signed up. I think we have registered 16 to 18 kids to take up there, and there's there again. Some of them will be competing in their CD events. We got a couple kids registered for the Quiz Bowl as a competition that they do up there, a Farm Safety Quiz Bowl, and right somewhere between 16 and 18, depending on conflicts and that type of stuff.
Okay, cool. And now we're going to move on to Kevin Stratman, right? And so what year in school are you here at YHS?
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore? Okay.
Yep.
And you come from a farming background?
Yeah, my parents both farmed and my grandparents farmed, and I live on a family farm.
Awesome. And so what are you getting ready to do up in Brookings at the state convention?
I do agronomy, so I identify plants and seeds.
Okay. Cool. That's always important because, you got those unwanted ones we know as weeds, right?
Yep.
And what has it meant for you to be able to be in a program like this during, at school?
Helps me learn more about farming and everything and what I can do better.
Okay. And I know when my grandpa farmed way back when, almost 100 years ago. Can you believe that? Anyway, when he farmed way back when, the technology has changed. I mean, taking care of weeds is way different now than when he did it. So, I mean, they've even gotten drones that go out for spraying of weeds. I mean, do you get to touch in on any of that type as well?
Yeah, we had some hired drone spraying done the past summer, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah. They seem to be able to get places that tractor ones don't get to, right?
Yeah, especially when the fields are wet.
Okay. Now, an important part of spraying for weeds is knowing what you can use, right? Do you get into any of the chemistry, the chemicals that are used?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay. But identifying is the first part of that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what do you wish to be able to take away from your experience with the YHS FFA?
So I can identify what weed I have, and then hopefully I can learn what chemical I need to spray on it too.
And I guess the flip side of that is how to best manage the soil so the plants that you want there flourish better, right? Yeah. Okay. I don't know if they do crop rotation like they used to back in the old days, but that was part of that as well. We do? Okay, cool. So that's awesome. Thank you, Kevin. Now, we'll move over to Davis Walsh. How are you doing today, Davis?
I'm doing great.
Okay, so what year are you in YHS?
I am a senior.
Okay, senior. Excellent. And what are you going to be doing up in Brookings?
Well, unfortunately, I won't be able to go with school play conflict, the musical Annie. Our last performance is on the day our event is held. So
okay, I understand that. I was recently in a play, and I know the conflicts that arise, and it takes a lot of effort there too. So, and Annie's a fabulous classical play as well. So, but what would have you done if you had gone up there?
I would have participated in my event, Natural Resource, where we identify a whole bunch of different species in South Dakota, whether that be mammals or birds or different kinds of trees or fish. I would have competed up there doing that.
Davis and Ginger both compete in the same event.
Okay. They don't fight each other. They help their team. Okay, team members.
There may be trash
maybe down the road.
Okay. I don't know about
there ought to be some of that. Okay. Well, the neat thing is that's an important thing too, being able to identify not just the plants but also everything else as well. And what do you expect to be able to gain from the FFA experience as you move forward?
Well, being in the competitions, it's kind of taught me to work well under stress. And it's just fun getting to learn and challenge myself with the new material. And, I might use it for anything from like trivia or, if I need, just identifying anything. So, yeah.
Okay. And as a senior, have you been thinking, are you going to be going on to college? What are you planning on doing after high school?
Yep. So I plan on going to the University of South Dakota for music performance. So, yeah, totally nothing with plants or agriculture, but, music.
Okay. What instrument do you play? Just to go off the wall here.
So I play a few, but I plan on going to major in bass clarinet and French horn.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So totally off the wall on FFA, but pretty cool. How do you think the more scientific aspects that you've dealt with here at the FFA is going to help you moving forward in your efforts to be a musician in college?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Maybe some critical thinking?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Because you got to be able to analyze stuff as well,
For sure.
even as a musician, right?
Yep. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And do you come from a farming background, or
I do not? No.
Okay. So has it helped you as more of a, we'll say, air quotes, we'll say, city kid? Has that helped you in all your other studies as well?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like I said, it challenges me to learn new material and start practicing and studying for different things.
Okay, excellent. Well, good luck on all that. It's awesome. Now, Ginger, I know you're a senior as well. We've talked several times in the past.
Yep.
And you're also a musician, so you've got a lot in common with Davis here.
Yes.
You're a city girl as well, right? Or do you live in...
I actually live out of town, and my grandparents were farmers, so I kind of grew up with that. Like, we'd go visit them a lot, but I don't live on a farm. I just live out of town. More of an
But you get to go,
background.
like me growing up, you got to go visit the farm at Grandpa and Grandma's.
Yep,
Okay,
very true.
awesome. And I didn't live on the farm either. My dad was a teacher. That's even worse than an operations director at a radio station, right? Okay, so what are your plans after high school? Is it going to involve any of your FFA?
Yeah, definitely. FFA has been really good. There's not really anything like it at the high school. I'm going to go into environmental studies at St. Olaf College in Minnesota, and it's just been really good for me because they don't really have a lot of activities here at YHS that like fit into that category of like outdoorsy science. And so being able to compete in FFA and like natural resources especially has been like really helpful, and I think I've learned a lot of stuff and been able to expand my knowledge into stuff I know I'm going to be using in the future.
Okay, you're probably still at least going to be doing music in the future as well, but maybe not as serious as Davis, huh? Okay, all right. But it's a great hobby to have. You got to have your artistic side as well.
For sure.
So, and let's see. Well, we sort of touched on a little with Davis here, but what are you going to be doing up in Brookings?
I'm actually also not going to Brookings. I know, it's such a bummer.
Oh.
I wanted to go so bad, but I'm also going to be performing in Annie. Everyone should come watch it.
Excellent.
Good, but I am bummed that I'm not going to be able to go up to Brookings.
Okay, well, so we got to get onto this. What part do you have in Annie?
I play Pepper. She's one of the orphans.
Okay, and Davis, what do you get to play?
I play music.
Okay, so your musical background. Yeah. Okay, excellent. Awesome. The music that we had at Mount Marty a couple of weeks ago for the Grapes of Wrath was all recorded music from migrant camps in California in 1940, so it was original. So that was a really cool aspect of it. So you still got like 16 other students that are going to be going up and representing YHS up in Brookings. Is that right?
That's correct. Yep. I would say I think this group kind of broadly represents the demographics that we have. We have traditional agricultural kids. We have Kevin's part of an agronomy team with 3 to 4 other kids who are going to either be agronomists, they're hoping to go to school, higher education for agronomy work, they're hoping to go back on the farm and use those skills. You have people like Davis who are just trying to becoming more well-rounded and pursuing an interest, and then like Ginger is actually truly using it as a career development and making sure that it's an area that she's interested in moving forward in. And I think all of those things, and to take, for example, the vet science team, we have quite a few girls in there that think they want to be either vet techs or they want to go to school for pre-vet post-secondary, and I think that's a great place to start to make sure it's an area that you're interested in and also give you some background info and give you a head start when you go there. And I don't think that it's so much more. I chose this group because it's so much more than Future Farmers of America. Yeah, we have that, but we also have someone who doesn't have any ag background. You also have a lot of people who have some, but it's quite a ways back in the family tree. So I think the more that we can fit the mold of all 3 of these demographic groups, the better off we are.
Oh yeah, and because there's so much more than the people that drive tractors and such that help farms, because there's so many more. And does anybody have any final thoughts that they'd like to talk about what's going on with FFA?
I just want to say it's been a great experience getting to learn, like I said, getting to test my knowledge and, apply to various things that maybe I don't know right now but will help me in the future. It's just been a great time, and I'm sad that I joined senior year, but I'm glad that I was a part of it.
Okay, so one last question. I'm going to ask it to all 3 of you. So we'll start with Ginger. Would you recommend to any student to join FFA?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this was a really good example of how anyone can be an FFA. It's for everyone. There's just a little bit of everything. Like if you're into flowers or if you're into animals or fish, there's you can try everything. There's lots of different things. I think there's something that will fit everyone's needs differently. I'd say definitely join. It's been really fun.
Excellent. How about you, Dave?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, there's definitely something for everyone. And you can learn a lot from the different people and just the different opportunities it may present to you.
Okay, excellent. How about you, Kevin?
Yeah, definitely, because you can learn a lot from other people and help other people and working with other people to get that experience.
Okay, excellent. Any final words from you, Mr. Wagner?
Yeah, I think one aspect that we maybe didn't discuss here, but that's a major benefit, is all of a sudden when we go to these competitions, people that go for the first time are kind of eye-opened a little bit at the sheer number of kids. Like I would say you walk into a gymnasium and there's 600-700 kids in a gymnasium, and all of a sudden you're put into a group with 100 other students, 150 other students who are your same age with your same interests, and inherently that develops this organic kind of environment for growth and friendships and just networking relationships, and I think that's an underrated part of it too.
Okay, so if any underclassmen are interested for next year, they just reach out to Mr. Wagner, I'm assuming, right?
Find me in the hallway.
I'll find you in the hallway, lasso you. Oh.
Yeah.
Little farming reference, right? Ranching more, but yeah. Awesome. All right, well, thank you guys. This has been great.
Yeah,
thank you. This is Scotty Borman for KYNT.
Big thanks to Scotty Borman for conducting that interview for YHS Nation this week. FFA, obviously a great program. Go out and support them. And like Scotty mentioned in the interview, I also, maybe a couple years ago, just learned that FFA does competitions and events and things like that. I didn't really understand the full compass or what all FFA encompasses. So, but yeah, go out and support them when they go out and compete and things like that. And good luck to them throughout the rest of their season here, and good luck to them in the future as well after high school and whatever the future holds for them. Obviously, FFA, Future Farmers of America, kind of tells you where some of them might be thinking about going on in the future, but I digress. One last thing before we wrap up Huddling with the Herd this week, we're going to take a look at this week's activities schedule at YHS. Starting on Monday, there's a school board meeting Monday night at 5 p.m. at the admin boardroom, room 131. Softball is a varsity matchup with Sioux Falls Jefferson at Sioux Falls Sherman Park. That's at 6 p.m. And the High School Athletic Club has a High School Athletic Booster Club has a meeting Monday night as well. Tuesday, April 14th, track and field has a varsity triangular. Field events begin at 3:45 p.m. with running events at 4. That is at home at Williams Field out at Yankton High School. Brandon Valley and Mitchell will compete in that. Bucks tennis, a duel with O'Gorman at McKinnon Park on Tuesday at 4 p.m. And Gazelle softball back in Sioux Falls on Tuesday. They take on Sioux Falls Roosevelt at Sanford Sports Complex at 6 p.m. Wednesday, April 15th, there was a college signing at YHS, 3:30 p.m. And then some meetings for gymnastics and football that afternoon as well. If you got athletes or young athletes, kids who are doing that, there's some meetings that afternoon. Thursday, April 16th, Yankton Gazelles Golf has their season opener at Harrisburg. That's at Spring Creek Country Club at 9 a.m. Bucks Tennis has a varsity triangular against Aberdeen and Huron at 12:30 p.m. Things start there. Yankton will take on Aberdeen at 12:30. Then 3 p.m. they will take on Huron. It's at the Huron Tennis Courts, which I believe is right outside of Tiger Stadium. Those are fairly new tennis courts out there, if memory serves me correctly. Yankton Gazelle softball Thursday night as well, 6 p.m. varsity matchup. Back at home, they take on Sioux Falls, Washington at Sertoma Park. The varsity game will start early if the JV game ends early. So JV game at 4 p.m., varsity game to follow. And the high school spring play, a musical Thursday night, 7 p.m. at the YHS Main Theater. Spring play also showing Friday night, April 17th at Yankton High School. And then next Saturday, April 18th, track and field has a varsity meet, the Corn Palace Relays up at Joe Quinto Field, and then another showing of the spring play. That's your look at the activities calendar for the coming week, and that's going to do it for this week's edition of this week's edition of Huddling with the Herd here on KYNT and KYNTV. Thank you for joining us again. Be sure to tune back in next Saturday for another edition of Huddling with the Herd. I am going to go celebrate my birthday now. Birthday tomorrow, 25. So, yeah, quarter of a century in. Let's keep it going. Been a lot of fun this year. A lot of things have changed, but very happy. Another year of life going forward. 25 tomorrow. We'll see what the rest of my life has in store, but it's been a lot of fun being a part of the Yankton community, hosting Huddling with the Herd, and being a part of Yankton High School Athletics. You're listening to KYNT and KYNTV, KYNT 102.1 FM, AM 1450, KYNTV streaming online, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, KYNTV.com or the KYNTV app. Until next week here on Huddling with the Herd, stay safe, be good people, and have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk at you later.